Guys, today I wanted to react to a video by Lil Smurf for a couple reasons. One, I watch all of his uploads and I haven't watched his video yet. Two, we already know it's going to be a banger. Three, I wanted to spread some love for Lil Smurf at this moment right now because at this point in Lil Smurf's YouTube career right now, he is taking a break and I don't know for how long for uploading. So he's obviously going to see a little bit of dip in the ad revenue that he's making. So I just wanted to send a message out there and saying, if you are somebody who enjoys any content over here, I know that there's a lot of viewers over here on this channel that also already do love Lil Smurf's content. In my opinion, Lil Smurf is one of the best Fortnite content creators out there when it comes to commentary videos. I watch every single one of his uploads and they are always consistent. So I wanted to, at this point where he is taking a break, maybe just, and I know I hate the idea that this might sound egotistical, guys, where it's like, oh my God, look at me, I'm doing such a nice thing. I don't want it to come across like that. I just saw that Lil Smurf was taking a break and wanted to ask because seeing a potential dip in ad revenue for him while he is not uploading, this is the type of thing that really would help people. If you are not familiar with any of his content, the pinned comment description down below, it will be available for you right there. Please go show him some love. Please go watch his videos. I guarantee you, if you're somebody who doesn't know Lil Smurf, you will absolutely really enjoy his content. In my opinion, again, it is one of the best Fortnite commentary channels out. It just sucks as a YouTuber because it causes a lot of type of stress when you start taking a break from any sort of uploads. You're always pressured to consistently upload because, again, a lot of people do this type of thing for a job. So if we can help over here on the channel in any way possible, and I hate that idea again because I don't want it to sound how I just sounded, like, oh, look at me. Look how great I am, you know? Truthfully, guys, I really like Lil Smurf. I think he's a great guy. I love his channel, so please, I'll keep it right there. Go show him some support. We're going to be reacting to his video today. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels. Let's hear what he has to say.
Fortnite Chapter 6 has been a controversial chapter, to say the least. There have been a lot of mixed opinions on this chapter, whether you love it or hate it. No matter where you go on the internet, it just seems like there's always some new opinion on the chapter.
Dude, it's actually crazy too. I don't understand how Chapter 6 is controversial at all. I don't. I know we've had our little updates here and there that people didn't necessarily like. Chapter 6 has been very consistent. I even liked Galactic Battle. But here's the thing, okay? If you're talking about the Star Wars season, if you're talking about the mini-season, I get that, but Chapter 6 Season 1 was solid. Chapter 6 Season 2, not the best season, but again, just good. And this season that we're in right now, at the time of recording this video, Chapter 6 Season 3, it's fantastic. I can't believe that people, like, saying something like that is controversial, that why Chapter 6 is becoming my favorite chapter. That's a controversial thing to say.
But I'm here to say that I honestly think that Fortnite is entering a new peak with Chapter 6. Like and subscribe, use code LilSmurf in the Fortnite item shop.
I should have mentioned that. I was here talking about getting some YouTube ad revenue. Please, guys, for this video, please use code LilSmurf in the item shop. It helps all of us creators out a ton, man.
Follow me on Twitter. That's enough promotion. Let's go. First of all, I just want to say that every single season of this chapter has been phenomenal so far.
I will say that while I think Lawless was good and I enjoyed playing it the entire time, I wouldn't say phenomenal. For the other seasons, I will agree with. I even think Galactic Battle was phenomenal.
Bounty Hunters is a top 10 season. Lawless was really good. Star Wars was my least favorite of the chapter, but it was still pretty good. And Super is honestly a top 5 season for me.
And dude, a lot of people are saying that, and I'm not somebody who disagrees with that, actually. Super is a top 5 season for a lot of people in this community. It's so weird that everybody's so happy with this chapter. And I will say, because I didn't know when I wanted to mention this, if we're talking about like why Chapter 6 is becoming my favorite chapter, I know there's a lot of people out there that are saying that Chapter 6 has been one of their favorite chapters. For me personally, it's between Chapters 2, 3, 4, and 1. Like, I almost didn't include 1 because it's so tough because all of those chapters were so good. The problem is Chapter 5 and 6 were on the bottom for me, but Chapter 5 was the only one that I didn't really like all that much, but I still had fun playing the game. Chapter 6, I have loved throughout so far. I just liked the previous chapters more. Off the top of my head, and I would really have to think about it, it might be Chapter 4, then Chapter 2, then Chapter 3, then Chapter 1, then Chapter 6, then Chapter 5. But, man, all of those rankings are so close, man. Like, even when I say Chapter 6 is my second least favorite chapter, that makes it sound bad, but it's just not, man. I've been enjoying the game so much since it came out.
The loot pool is absolutely phenomenal. We have amazing ARs like the Fury Assault Rifle, the Hollow Twister AR, the Spire Rifle. We got great SMGs like the Surgefire SMG and the Valid Precision SMG. One of the best shotgun metas since Chapter 2. Overall, these seasons have just been amazing.
Yep, and the loot pools, the seasons in general, and that's not even including like the Fortnite gimmicky items, which I've been talking about and has been missing from Fortnite for so long, man.
So far, and I'm just gonna go into each one of them, what makes them so good, and why I think Chapter 6 is just an amazing chapter overall. First, let's start with Oni Hunters. This was a season that's been themed around Japanese mythology.
And they kept that pretty consistent through the entire time. And I know that people had a little bit of, they were upset about how Mega kind of took, like, got taken over by the Japanese theme. I get that. And I like the fact that they kind of sat back from that, but Mega was one of my favorite seasons of all time. I loved the Star Wars and Attack on Titan collab, man.
Which is a season that I personally have wanted for a while. It leans heavily into this theme, but also puts in some modern aspects, sort of like Neo Tokyo vibes. It's not nearly to the degree that it was in Mega, but it's still definitely there in areas like Seaport City. And there were a lot, and I mean a lot, of cool Japanese themed items.
Yeah, and I'd have to sit back and think about it, but I thought like a lot of the map did a good job in keeping up with that too. Yeah, I'd have to sit back and like go through all of the POIs, but the items were really, really cool too. The skins were well done, the battle pass, the overall feel and theme for Chapter 6 Season 1 was really on point.
We had the Oni fire masks and the Oni void masks. The fire mask, basically, you could shoot a fireball at your opponent and it would do some pretty substantial damage, but it did have a pretty big cooldown, so what I would do is I would throw a fireball at my opponent and then I would shoot him with a shotgun or spray him with my AR or something. The Void Mask was a phenomenal mobility item.
I like that item so much, not only because it's mobility, but because like the cool plays that you can do, teleporting with people, escaping from boxes, like leaving one of your void, what do you call them? Your void bubbles just somewhere else and then rushing somebody, disappearing, sniping them. Like the possibilities are endless for the Void Oni mask, and I still think to this day that it should be a staple in the Fortnite loot pool. I think it should never leave, man. It's such a fun item.
Basically, what you would do is you would throw a void orb, and whenever you press right click, you would teleport. This made traveling around the island way faster, and you could also use it to get into people's boxes, which was also really cool.
Yeah.
And we also had the Typhoon Blade, which I've expressed my distaste for in the past.
I know a lot of people didn't like the Typhoon Blade, and I understand why, but I always think it's cool to have a sword and a melee item in the Fortnite loot pool. It could have done with a little bit of nerfing, but not a ton of nerfing. Okay, not a ton, but I thought it was a cool item.
I liked the concept of the Typhoon Blade, but in practice, I feel like it was just a bit too overpowered. But that wasn't the only thing. I've talked about the loot pool before and how much I love the gunplay, but the map was also phenomenal.
Yes, and this is something that I've also talked about throughout the entirety of Fortnite. It's so difficult for me, and believe me, we're going to be making this video. I just have to like take the time to set it up. Ranking every single map. Guys, Fortnite has had such great maps, and I might just say that Chapter 6 might be my favorite map. It is for sure the most visually appealing map, and I think that matters. Usually I talk about things like, oh my god, gameplay is most important, but when you're having this gameplay in a visually appealing map, it just adds to the experience.
Almost every single POI was themed around Japanese mythology. There were like dojos and Neo Tokyo cities and stuff. It was amazing. And even the loot island that spawned in had a bunch of dojos and statues on it with a shogun boss that you could fight. And brief spoiler for the rest of the chapter, but I absolutely loved how every single aspect of Japanese culture was still in seasons in the future.
Yes, and you could feel the map actually progressing. This is something that we missed from a lot of Chapter 1 and a little bit of Chapter 2.
Even though the Japanese season ended, because the entire map was built around Japanese mythology, there were still hints of Japanese culture in the map. So
yeah, that's something, again, that we missed from Chapter 1 so much. The map evolved, and you've gone through all of these different experiences, and it still kind of remained on the map.
There were still dojo things. Even now, when the loot island spawns in, it's still themed around Japanese mythology.
Okay, that one I do disagree with, though. They need to change to Loot Island. I'm not, sorry, what is the screenshot? I'm not a fan of them keeping the loot island and not changing it throughout the entire chapter. No. We need to make that a season-based thing.
Hey, I got a new drinking game. Take a shot every single time I say Japanese mythology. I'm convinced half of you guys would black out. Anyways,
Wow.
I think I've said all I need to say about this season. I absolutely loved it. Let's move on to Lawless.
Yeah, and a lot of people really loved this as well. And I'll just say my opinion on Lawless. Again, it was a good season. It just wasn't phenomenal. It didn't keep up with the rest of Chapter 6's consistency, in my opinion.
When Lawless first came out, I was originally just like, it was fine, I guess. It was another heist-themed season, but instead of like secret agents, it was this time we were robbing banks and stuff.
And I didn't have the negative opinion that a lot of people had, but I also do understand the negative opinion that people did have about it, because it's a theme that's been used so many times, but I'm somebody who just enjoys the gameplay of the theme.
Which did change it up a bit, but for me, it just still felt really repetitive and stale. The gunplay was good, and I did like the POIs they added, and I will admit, the banks were really fun to break into because it wasn't just kill a boss, get a key card. Instead, you had to plant a bomb on the vault, and then you had to fight off a horde of enemies and maybe a boss.
Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. That got a little repetitive for me. I loved everything else about Lawless. Like, the kneecapper was so much fun. The robbery fans were some of the most fun that I've ever had playing this game. But I didn't love the entire breaking into the vault type thing. I enjoyed the black market.
Now, those hordes of enemies and those bosses weren't exactly hard, but still, it changed up the formula. We also got the return of the rocket ram, kind of, with the return of the rocket drill. It was very similar to the rocket ram, and
yeah, the rocket ram was just better, dude. I found myself not really using that item. I was a big kneecapper fan.
Did enjoy it. However, as the season went on, we got more and more updates that added so much to the experience. All of the new exotics that they added were so amazing, and I had so much fun with them.
Yeah, and I've always disagreed with people, man, having like a critiques where it's like, oh my god, it's just a rework to this. No. I don't care. This was fun. It was a brand new experience. All of the Lawless weapons, I thoroughly enjoyed. And every single time I play a creative map and I go, oh yeah, we got a Lawless gun, I am hyped about it.
The exotic pump and dump, the sniper, the return of Brutus's minigun and Midas's drum gun, all of that was super fun and really added a lot of chaos to that season, which I felt like it was missing. Originally, Lawless started out as like a 7 out of 10 for me, but as the time went on, it became like an 8.5 out of 10.
Hey, there you go. What would I rank Lawless? I'd probably give it a solid 8, to be honest. I really enjoyed it. Maybe a 7.5, but that's a good rating, okay?
Next, let's talk about Galactic Battle, the only collab season so far. I'm not looking forward to the Simpsons season.
I'm not either, man. But Epic's doing their job. Dude, the Simpsons season is gonna get my wife to play Fortnite. Unbelievable. And my wife is somebody who she's a big Nintendo girl, hates shooters. And she's like, I'd play Fortnite if it's a Simpsons season. I'm like, seriously? So they're doing their job. I'm just not looking forward to it.
Now, I am a huge Star Wars fan, and I did enjoy this season a lot. However, I can't help but feel like there was some wasted potential here.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that. I loved this season. This season, this is going to be a controversial one. Oh, no, I don't know. I like it just as much as I like the season that we're presently in right now. It's a very, very good season. I'm not even a big Star Wars guy, but I've always loved the Star Wars collaborations within Fortnite, man.
Wasted potential, mainly just...
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Sorry to pause again. I meant to point out that, like, while I still enjoyed it, I do agree that it had a lot of missed potential.
Came down to they didn't do enough with POIs, and maybe they could have added a couple more skins, but for the most part, I still thought the season was good. They made an extremely bold choice and completely vaulted ammo and all of the Chapter 6 guns for an entire month in favor of Star Wars blasters. And I gotta say, I didn't think it would work, but it worked very well.
I like the fact that it has an entire takeover, and we have the alternate modes like OG, Reload, now Blitz for people. I don't think we didn't have Blitz at the time, but you get my point. If we're going to have an entire takeover season in BR, which I would prefer, at least there's other stuff for other people to play within the metaverse.
This season had lightsabers, blaster rifles, spaceships, force powers, and so many more things that actually made you feel like you were in a Star Wars movie. And the live event that was at the end of the season was also pretty good. Overall, this season was just a really fun time. I can can understand why some people didn't like it.
Yeah, and I understand why people don't like it either. I do understand if people just do not like Star Wars. Obviously, you're probably not going to like the season. Totally get that. Totally fair. I just was surprised to see the amount of hate that this season got. I really enjoyed it.
Especially if you're not a Star Wars fan, you're not going to enjoy this as much as some other people. However, I just personally liked the gunplay. It was probably my favorite out of any season of the chapter.
Agreed, and I get that. It was honestly very balanced, and I wish it wasn't. I would have had more fun if it wasn't balanced.
Despite the fact that this season was probably my least favorite of the chapter, just because as a Star Wars fan, I could see the wasted potential. But it was still a solid like 8 out of 10. And finally, Fortnite Super, Chapter 6, Season 3. This season is absolutely peak. You guys can't change my mind. Yes.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is, guys. There were other seasons of Fortnite that I liked better. I don't have anything. No, that's not true. Things like the Superman, I think I do have negative things to say because it's not like, it's a little underwhelming, but there's not a lot of bad I can say about the season, man. It is a very objectively well-structured season.
This season is a 10 out of 10. You cannot change my mind. All of the superpowers, from the Beast Gauntlets to the Storm Beast Pom-Poms or whatever they're called, the Light Cube, the little, like, power that lets you suck the power out of your opponents or whatever, all of these items and all of these guns, especially those like cyberpunk guns where you activate slow-mo and can shoot at your opponents.
Oh my god, I love those ones. Everything was so unique, and they're really going back to those Fortnite gimmicky items that made so many people fall in love with the game. I love it, man. I love the surfboard. I love the gauntlets. Everything feels so unique and fun this time around. On top of that, you have all of these fun, unique items, but you also have a very, very strong and balanced base loot pool. I'm talking about like the DMRs, the assault rifles, SMGs, shotguns. It's amazing.
This season is some of the most fun I've had on Fortnite in years. I literally cannot think of a single flaw of this season. Like, I genuinely think it's perfect. There might be some things that are like a little bit overpowered, but Fortnite has done a pretty good job at doing nerfs and keeping it balanced while also keeping them still fun. Unlike Wrecked. But this season overall is just phenomenal. And
we didn't even talk about the story. The storyline is very good this season so far.
This entire chapter overall is just phenomenal. I feel like I've explained myself here on why I think Chapter 6 is a new peak for Fortnite.
That's tough, man. Chapter 6 just might be a new peak for Fortnite. And this, depending on how they handle the other seasons, we have the bug invasion, and then we have the Simpsons season coming up. This could go down as one of Fortnite's greatest chapters. Really could. That, along with all of the other great stuff that we're seeing in the metaverse, it could be great.
It's up there with the peaks of Chapter 4, the peaks of Chapter 2, and I'd even argue it's up there with the peaks of Chapter 1. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me, but that's the beauty of opinions, isn't it? With that,
hey, no, this is the Fortnite community. We can't have those. This is... No way. It's my opinion only.
That being said, thank you guys so much for watching.
And actually, there was one thing I disagreed about Lil Smurf throughout this video. I don't really remember what it was, but because I did disagree with him, I now hate him.
Watching to the end, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe.
And yeah, like I said, guys, at the beginning of the video, his commentary has been very consistent. They've been very good. I really, really always enjoyed what he has to say. They are the perfect amount of time length. Like, I really enjoy his channel, man. So please, again, go show him some love in the pinned comment description down below. We also did react to another Lil Smurf video, though. If you want to check that out, you can find it right here, guys. I'd love to have you over there. Thank you very much for watching the video. Take care, guys.